Hello and welcome to Bare Bones Media Reviews. I'm your host Anthony, and today I'll be talking about the 2021 film The Little Things, starring Denzel Washington and Rami Malek. It is a neo-noir film thriller, which, despite its fast-paced opening, is definitely more of a slow burn and not what my dad would refer to as a bang-bang shoot-'em-up type film. What this movie gets right, this movie gets really right. The editing takes its time and spends time with its characters, so you can the audience can linger on what the characters' uh, thought process is or what's going on in the story. Uh, there's a couple of neat little sound things that happen at the beginning of the film that are interesting. And sorry, you'll have to forgive me. I've got dogs that are holding, it's food time, so they're excited and doing Fred Astaire impersonations with their nails. I forgot my train of thought. I had to let the dogs out. Anyway, it is kind of your standard noir type thriller. The Deacon character, played by Denzel Washington, definitely has this air about him that he's been through the ringer kind of a thing, and even the weight of the setting plays on the character very well. Rami Malek's Baxter is definitely sort of your young gun, arrogant type detective who's given the fun narrative device of a young family to keep him from being too much of a punchable hard ass. An interesting aspect about this movie is it's actually been around, or at least the script has been around, since the 90s, and that's actually the setting of the film, which, unless you're paying attention to the subtitle that says, takes place in 1990, and the obvious lack of cell phones, which kind of can be used to excuse some sort of bonehead character behavior later, you wouldn't know that it's a 90s film. They're kind of trying to go for the classic, timeless bit that other noir films in the past have used. So, where the movie kind of starts to fall flat and sort of gets stuck in its own trappings is during the later half of the film, where we get introduced to the main suspect, played by Jared Leto, who plays it pretty much with. He's kind of going for like a Charles Manson type thing, but he plays it with about half the required charisma. And from them on, it's guess the noir plot points. So it's a movie that could have been a lot better. It's trying to be a more modern version of Seven, and it gets some of those beats right, especially with its bleakness and its ambiguity in the ending. But it's in a writing style as if to say, "Ha ha, I'm more clever than you." Not really a, you know, have you figured this out kind of a thing. So all in all, it's a good movie. If you're, if you want something to watch, and it's definitely a good time waster. If you do find yourself getting bored and guessing the right story beats, you can always kind of look for the little things, which is what I try and do in movies anyway. I'm not really what you would call critical of a movie. It takes a lot for me to dislike a movie. I have to really, as long as it can keep my attention and keep me entertained, I'll pretty much say the movie's at least worth watching. Sorry about the camera bump there. So yeah, I'm probably going to do. In fact, I might even make it a Noir November. And for next week, we'll look at a different noir movie that does some of the same things that this movie was kind of trying to do, but in a different fashion. So I don't know what movie that's going to be. I'm also going to try and put a link down below to the trailer for the movie, so you can actually know what the devil I'm talking about, as to me just blowing hot air out of my mouth. Anyhow, have you seen any good movies lately? And I'll see you next week on Let the Dogs Out.